you currently church shopping, looking for that right church for you or your family? Perhaps you've been looking and been turned off by organized religion. It happens. Let me suggest you try Unity Church. We are a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity. Many who have found us have said, I didn't know there was a church that taught what I always believed. Let's be honest, people shop for clothes, good restaurants, and the right church that feeds them spiritually. If you're seeking a spiritual truth beyond tradition, try Unity Church. Come join us.
From Unity Church of Christianity in Houston, Texas, this is The Awakened Life with Reverend Howard Caesar. Unity is a non-denominational Christian church providing a positive, practical, and progressive approach to Christianity. Let's join the service in progress with the Reverend Howard Caesar.
Every year, there is a day that is set aside for mothers. We call it Mother's Day, right? And we take time to focus on that one soul, that one human being whose womb we were birthed from. And it's a very focused thing. You know, it's our mother. It's not necessarily our neighbor's mother or our friends or the person down the road or whatever. It's our mother. And it's kind of that narrow, directed sense of honoring that one important person or one of the very important people in our lives with love and respect and just a lot of gratitude as well. So we love our mothers, and when we extend that love and support and honor, it's certainly appropriate to do so. And Scripture tells us to honor thy father and honor thy mother. And hopefully we all apply that and do honor our mother at that time and live that commandment. So you honor your mother, I honor my mother, and other people honor their mother. But today we want to honor our mother, okay? It is humanity's mother. It is the mother that we all share. It's Mother Earth. Mother Earth. Now, recently, you may or may not have realized it. Some of you may. We had Earth Day, and it's on the calendar. And it's a time in which we should pause and realize our connection and the role and relationship that we have with the planet upon which we live. And so today we want to really, really honor Mother Earth. Mother Earth. Scripture tells us that God created man in his image and likeness, okay? And so when we are created in the image and likeness of God, we're told that God is spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. So when we're made in the image and likeness of God, that's spirit. So spiritual man, spiritual aspect of man is created, and that is actually found and depicted in the first chapter of the book of Genesis in verse 26. And we are made in the image and after the likeness. And then after that, there is another creation of man that is found in the second chapter of Genesis, verse 7. And that is where we have the formation of man. And it is stated in the verse, and the Lord formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into him the breath of life. And what you have there is physical man. First is spiritual man, the immortal, the spirit of you. Second is of the dust, physical man, the mortal part, okay? First comes the spiritual, then comes the physical. And so before either of those came into being, that which was first in the progression of things and what was stated in the first verse of the first chapter of the first book of what we call our Bible, the Scripture, it states, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. The heaven and the earth. And so what's important to understand is that anything and everything that God has created is truly sacred, okay? Yes, he created man, he created humanity, and that is very sacred, and we should consider our lives and our beings very sacred. But he created Mother Earth before there was any creation of any mother or father. The earth was created first, Mother Earth. And when he did, he formed us out of that earth. Mother Earth, out of the womb of the earth, if you will. In a very real sense, the earth is our mother, and in a real sense, we are its children. And we may think of ourselves as independent and kind of individuals, but the reality is that we are all interdependent, and we are all, of a humanity in which we are part of all of the rest of the many life forms that are here and share this planet. And so truly, Earth is our home. Earth is our home, and it is the home that all of us really share together. It's not just a slab of dirt with amidst oceans of water. You know, it is a life form, and Earth itself is like a super organism. You know, it's a being. It has a soul. It has a spirit. It is alive. It has life force moving through it, and the Earth is our creator, and it gives us life. It sustains us. We could not exist without the Earth. You know, Mother Earth is supplying us with everything we need to sustain life, and it all comes to us free. You know, it provides oxygen and water and food and shelter and medicine. Everything we could ever need is there provided. And so the Earth is a living being. You need to get to understand it's a living being. It has a spirit, as does all life. And it is a creation of God, as we all are. And we are interrelated, we're interconnected, and we depend on each other. We could not live without the Earth and all that it gives. And when we were in our mother's womb, we were connected by an umbilical cord which fed to us the nutrients and what was necessary as a source to keep ourselves alive. And then when that phase was completed and we were birthed, you know, the umbilical cord was severed. And at that point, essentially, we're handed off to Mother Earth. And we begin to live inside the womb of Mother Earth. And though we cannot see the umbilical cord, believe me, there is a connection energetically to the earth in which we live that is feeding us continually, loving us, strengthening us, seeking to help us. It is its nature to embrace us, as the womb of a mother instinctively does. And so every day we connect to the earth with our feet, you know, and we walk upon and within this earth and the womb of this earth and all of its life forms. And there are the animals and the insects and birds and fish and flowers and trees and vegetation and all of these things. And everything on this planet is said to have a destiny to fulfill during its lifetime. Everything, you know. Each has a contribution to make, all life forms, from the smallest amoeba to the massive whale, from the tiniest of vegetation to the biggest masses of trees. You know, all have a role to play in the quality and the preservation of life, because all living things are interconnected. They play a role into each other. The Native American tradition says that all of the vegetation that is on the earth is considered the hair on Mother Earth. That is just the hair. So every species is contributing to the future quality of life on Earth. You know, and everything is part of a balance of nature that's necessary if we are to sustain and maintain life. It has to be there. Every bee that pollinates a flower, every bird, flower, animal, insect is part of an intricate web of life. And the loss of one species to extinction can cause loss of a vital link in this sensitive balancing, this delicate balancing of this whole life system of which we are a part. It has order and intelligence and wisdom to all of the intricacy of this world in which we live. Our ancestors and indigenous people and communities, they were known to work with nature and with Mother Earth. And they had a kind of a partnership ongoing and a communication as co-creators. And they had the sensitivity and the understanding that if we destroy or abuse our natural resources, that we are also, in a way, abusing our own lives and the lives of our children and our children's children. And so, remember, Mother Earth is a living being. And we're in relationship with Mother Earth every day. And it's sacred. Now, some would argue that in some ways it has been an abusive relationship, you know, that we've abused Mother Earth in a number of ways. It's been written that since the Industrial Revolution, humans have poisoned the air, poisoned the water, poisoned the soil in various parts of the world. And some say over the last 1,000 years, we have been, in a sense, traumatizing the planet. Nuclear bomb tests inside the earth, digging and drilling, exploitation of natural resources, pollution of water and air and so forth. Some of you probably know that the city of Seattle is actually named after a famous Native American. He was a Duwamish chief, and he was known by various names that sounded like Seattle, but they settled on Seattle. There's about 4 names that sounded like Seattle, and that's what we ended up with. But it's all in recognition of this wonderful soul. Had a wonderful sensitivity about him, and he was famous for many things. One of them was his oratory, and that they said his voice could carry so far and was so powerful that you could hear him 3/4 of a mile away. And he is known for a famous speech that he gave in 1854. And he said a lot of wonderful things in there, and you should look it up sometime and read it. But one segment of that speech that he gave, which has become famous, is where he says this. He says, "You must teach your children that the ground beneath their feet is the ashes of your grandfathers, so that they will respect the land. Tell your children that the earth is rich with the lives of our kin. Teach your children what we have taught our children, that the earth is our mother. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons of the earth. If men spit upon the ground, they spit upon themselves." So, Mom Earth, it's our mother. We live on her, we depend on her, and we should honor and respect her as the parent of us all. And in certain ways, without being negative, it's been pointed out that humanity has been cruel and disrespectful, and that Mother Earth is reacting to what has been extended to her in many ways. She is alive, and she isn't about to die because of what has been done to her. What could happen, worst case scenario, is that we would eliminate ourselves for our lack of helping to maintain a balance or get back into balance with nature and with Mother Earth. I recently read where one writer with a depth of sensitivity about this whole matter and our relationship with Mother Earth wrote and said, "We are in some ways like a virus to her, and her temperature has risen, just like a fever in a human. She now has a fever because of humanity's doings. It's infected her with toxins and pollution and poisons. And now her immune system is reacting, and we're getting global warming." This is not a political thing, this is their view. And that you kill a virus by raising the heat or the temperature so high that it gets rid of it. And then the temperature comes down and the planet is well again. And the point that is being made by this writer is that we can bring the fever down simply by being more conscious and entering into a more loving and sensitive relationship with our Mother Earth, and being more vocal about those sensitivities. Relationship is everything. We're in relationship with all of life, with each other certainly. There isn't anything we're not in relationship with, as alive with God, and it has a spiritual dimension to it. There is a book that I came across that was written actually in 1954, and it is called Kinship with All Life, and it was written by J. Allen Boone. I came across it in the early 70s, and I really loved its content because it helped an individual in reading it really expand an awareness of the connection we have with all life and the communication that can go on, and that wonderful relationship. Now, one of the stories, there's several stories in the book that help this, and one of them is about a dog named Strongheart. And Strongheart was actually a very famous German Shepherd dog. At one time was Hollywood's top-ranking screen star, if you can imagine. It was its biggest box office attraction. I think this was in like the first few years of 1950. And this dog did incredible things. I know that we probably all have had our dogs, and nobody's smarter than our dog. And but I know we've encountered pets and things too. But this, if you will, bear with me. It was a very incredible, intelligent dog. So intelligent it baffled conventional explanation. It was transported here, to our country from Germany. His father was an international champion. This dog was, as a German Shepherd, was powerfully built, was proud and bold, and was 125 pounds. And once he became famous, they spared nothing. He was escorted around with honors. You know, he was placed in a special suite. When he stayed in places, he was attended to by a manager, a valet, a press agent, all of these different things as he made personal appearances around the country for a short stint as well. And the man who cared for him and was kind of the companion had to go out of the country for a couple of months. I don't know if he was working on another movie somewhere. And anyway, he asked J. Allen Boone, this writer who was writing this, if he would be the companion and caretaker of the dog for this span of time. And so he's writing about his experience in that. And he was given instructions by the owner of the dog, and what and when to feed him, and how to bathe him, and to brush him, and what kind of exercise he should have every day. And and he was clearly advised to treat him exactly as one would an intelligent human being, okay? And never talk down to him, never baby talk him, and never say anything with your lips that you do not sincerely mean with your heart, because the dog will know. And and the last piece of instructions was that he was to read something worthwhile to him every day. Okay, so that's that. Now imagine this. He said the dog is right there listening to every word that the owner is telling him in the way of directions, and never lost focus. Just continued to hear everything like he knew every word. And so together they went. Now, it's a true story, and of how this man discovered his kinship with this dog in that period of time that he was with him. And he set an intention, realizing this is an unusual dog, he set the intention to discover how the two of them were related as individual expressions of life in a highly intelligent universe. You understand what's being said there? Yeah, it was a sacred coming together. And so Strongheart, as I said, was very strong. And when he first came to this man's house, he opened the door. Strongheart went in and just went everywhere in the house, went into every room, opened the door with his mouth, and went into every closet, sniffed, checked everything out, and then came back, everything was cool. He checked it out. And if this man would, the author, would start to begin any kind of work, whether it was making the bed, house cleaning, washing the car, working in the garden, Strongheart, the dog, would always insist upon helping. And he would simply use his jaws in place of his hands, and he said, the dog really made a real contribution. Wouldn't we all love to have that? So he would awaken, the dog would, at precisely 6 a.m. every morning. He would bounce out of bed full of energy and vigor, and he would go and open the doors himself, let himself out, then come back in and with his mouth would rip the sheets off from this guy, so in effect saying, it's time to get up. And the relationship advanced over the days, and he was a writer, of course, so he did a certain amount of writing with his work every day, in addition to reading to the dog and taking him for a walk and what have you. He said one day he was thinking, you know, I just might not write today. I'll play hooky maybe, and I'll take Strongheart up to the hills, and we'll spend the rest of the day and into the evening into the beauty of the hills. And he was thinking and mulling that over, and when he finally decided, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, he said at that moment, Strongheart came charging through the back door from outside, and in a frenzy of excitement came charging into the bedroom, went and grabbed his jeans and a sweater that he always used when he would go for a walk, and came out of the bedroom into his office and dropped them at his feet, ready to go. He was stunned. He said, this dog read my mind from outside. When just thinking this. It was amazing. And he wondered things, I mean, the author did, like why he was to read to the dog every day something worthwhile. And the dog always listened, was really on point, always focused, until the reading was done. And what he discovered, he thought, was that the more that he stopped treating Strongheart like a dog, in the conventional meaning of the term, the more he stopped acting like a dog with him. And the man came to the realization that he had himself a large assortment of beliefs about dogs and animals and things, and these notions had to be cleared out in order to make room for a whole nother level experience of this world and all of the life upon it. And so the author, in his experiments with Strongheart, discovered that, behind basically every subject or every object which the senses can focus on and identify, whether the object is a human or an animal or a tree or a mountain or a plant or anything else, that right there where the object is, there is kind of a mental and a spiritual truth that is functioning in all its completeness and perfection. And that truth is only apparent to the individual who is willing to be clarified by an inner vision and be conscious in a new way in that moment, present with whatever that object or life form is. And so there was a big shift also that took place in their relationship when he began to consciously look over and over for every kind of quality he could find in Strongheart. There were many that were there, but he said this lifted his concept of Strongheart, the dog, out of the physical and into the mental, and then out of the mental and into the spiritual. And he said in that way, he was constantly translating him into what he really was, back of the physical appearance and projections that he would place on a dog being a dog. And it allowed him to step into an immeasurable, unlimited expression of an idea called a dog. Pretty powerful, isn't it? Now, all of this story I tell you so that it can translate into the tremendous relationship that we can have with Mother Earth as a whole and any part of its many life forms. It is sacred. Don't be held back. Don't project such limitation on anything that is around you. It is wanting to speak to you. There's in the book, there's a story about a lady who, Miss Wiley, who handles snakes, poisonous snakes, any kind of wild snakes, and she could calm them down. She could get them to trust her. She would stroke them. She would do all this through a fearless calm and simply communicating with thought and an energy from her that was just coming mentally with talk that told the snake it praised it, it recognized its qualities, it respected it. There was nothing to fear. There was not being harm. There was a communication. And and she demonstrated, she said that regardless of appearances, good is latent in every living thing and simply needs to be called into active expression through the application of respect, a sympathetic understanding, gentleness, and love. Love. Our ancient ancestors and Native American brothers and sisters, they showed us and taught us these things that could be accomplished by simply recognizing animals as being on a mental, spiritual level and being able to communicate at that deeper level. Do you know that in the book of Job, in the 12th chapter, you can go to it, there is some amazing scripture there that talks about the idea of us being able to communicate with all kinds of life and they communicating with us. That truly at a spiritual level, we can be and communicate with all life forms if there's a deeper listening, if there's a presence, if there's not the projection that shuts down in some form of limitation. And here's what it says in Job. Ask the beasts and they will teach you. Ask the wild birds and they will tell you. Crawling creatures will instruct you. Fish in the sea will inform you. For which of them all knows not that this is the Eternal's way, in whose control lies every living soul and the whole life of man? Amazing. Einstein, he had spiritual depth to him. We honor many of the things and insights he had. And one of the things that he wrote and said was, a human being is a part of a whole, called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He said, he experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings, as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. He went on to say, this delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. And this next part is really important that you get. He said, our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in all its beauty. That's a great, great statement. And he was saying, don't narrow your world and just only be open to knowing and experiencing and communicating at a spiritual level with those who are just, in your tight little narrow world, but realize it's everywhere you can turn around. It's speaking to you. It's helping you. That's the way in the nature of the divine. There's good that is there, reaching its arms, extending something to lead you forward, to help, to assist. There's an Eileen Nauman. She's a partial Eastern Cherokee, and she was raised in the Native American traditions, and she was taught that when you're born, our root chakra has sent 2 red roots down each leg through our feet deep into mom, and that we're grounded and we're attached and connected. And when we are attached like that spiritually, we can hear what the mother is saying in all of these different life forms. And that at times we're pulled away from that. We need to be grounded. And they shared an exercise to help you feel like there's a root that goes down into the earth that entangles around your ankles, and you feel the energy and connection. That's like a meditative thing to do every day for 10 minutes. But we all share the same Mother Earth. We all are to connect and deepen in our relationship with Earth. And we are consciously to enter into really loving this presence and praising its beauty and treating it with respect. We may think that when we wake up, we have woken up in our beds in our home, but we're wrong. We really wake up in Mother Earth and in the womb of Mother Earth every day. We wake up to the Earth's oxygen that we're breathing, and we wake up to the Earth's house that has been given to us with the wood and other materials from the earth, and we bathe in the water that the earth has provided, and we dress in clothes that the earth has grown with cotton and other fabrics, and we eat breakfast with food that the earth provides, and we go out and view the landscape of our yard or whatever, and the beauty, again, that the earth provides. And we literally live inside the womb of the earth, in Mother Earth. And so let's realize she's alive, and she's providing everything for us, and that she is a sentient, awake being. She loves us, and every day we reap the benefits of that love. She is created by God, as you and I are. We are one. Let us love and respect and commune and pray for her. God bless you all.
Thank you for joining us for today's message. We invite you to be with us again next Sunday. At Unity, we believe that God's presence of love and goodness is everywhere, and that life is meant to be good. You can find out more about Unity and our teachings at unityhouston.org.
Are you currently church shopping, looking for that right church for you or your family? Perhaps you've been looking and been turned off by organized religion. It happens. Let me suggest you try Unity Church. We are a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity. Many who have found us have said, I didn't know there was a church that taught what I always believed. Let's be honest, people shop for clothes, good restaurants, and the right church that feeds them spiritually. If you're seeking a spiritual truth beyond tradition, try Unity Church. Come join us.